I'm going to teach you how a pro, as in someone that's been playing the game for the past 7 years, at least 8 to 12 hours a day nonstop, would make silver in Albion Online if they were to start a brand new account with nothing but the knowledge of the game. Let's go. And these are not normal, regular methods like, go gather, go do this, go do that, go into the rack zone and kill mobs and do dungeons and open chests. That is absolutely the wrong answer. I'm going to give you the actual real ways that someone would do to make silver that doesn't require risk, luck, RNG, none of that stuff. All guaranteed methods that work and will make way more silver than any regular conventional methods. So step number 1 is pretty simple. You're going to follow the best possible start. Now, this is a guide that came out in June of 2025, 6 months ago as of recording. And everything in this video is still up to date. It's still relevant. The only thing that has changed since June of last year is the faction warfare system. They dumbed it down and they made it less rewarding. But you're not required to do faction warfare stuff. But essentially, by following this guide, it's going to set you up with a character that will have some starter spending cash. And you'll have all the knowledge of how to level up efficiently fast, how to gather, all that stuff. So as a brand new player, there's really no faster way to start than this. I know if you go to Reddit and you ask on Discords, they'll tell you, go to the Black Zone. That's the fastest way to level up. It isn't. It's never been the fastest way to level up. It's just what they want you to do because it fits their PvP hardcore old mentality, where they will get grief from their guild and their friends, and they will be peer pressured. And they'll be called a Yellow Zone Warrior. They'll be called, this is a full loot PvP game. You shouldn't be telling people to do safe zone stuff. They cave to the peer pressure, even though all the math, all the data, all the spreadsheets show that doing safe zone content is absolutely perfectly fine for a new player, so that they incur 0 losses and they can build up their bankroll. But one of the main things that you're going to do, and you're actually going to repeat in this best start guide, is this part right here, where you are going to gather these rough stone. Now, here's a few disclaimers. As a brand new player with nothing, no friends, no money, you're not card swiping, gathering rough stone and selling it at the player market is the highest, fastest way to make silver in the game, all right, than anything else. And I know the text is looking weird at the top, but that's just how it is. But there is nothing else a new player could do to make money faster than this. Now, I will say that gathering rough stone does not level up your character. That is true. But it will give you money, and the way money works in Albion is the more money you have, the more money you can make faster. If you have 1 million silver and you flip it, you can make 1.5 million silver after a few days. If you have 100 million silver, you can make 150 million silver in a couple of days. And I've already proven this in a bunch of my videos. But we'll talk more about item flipping and stuff later in this video. Alright, so next up, you're going to do the rough stone grind as many times as you can tolerate it. And what I mean by this is that you need multiple accounts to do all of these money-making methods. Yeah, you can do it on one account, but you're not going to make money as fast or as efficiently as running 10 accounts, 20 accounts, all right? I currently do this with about 20 accounts. I have 100 accounts, but I only do it with 20 because I don't play this game as much as I used to. But you want to just make a character, go through the tutorial zone, get as much rough stone as you can tolerate carrying, get it to the town, sell it, so that each of those characters on each of those accounts has around 200,000 silver, preferably more. You don't need more, but just 150 to 200,000 silver is a nice start per character. That means, if you have 3 characters, you want around 500,000 silver worth of silver sitting on at least, spread between those 3 characters for the next things that you're going to do with those characters. And I'll go ahead and log out and kind of show you what that would look like. So here we have an account with Focus Benji 5 and 6 and Giga Chad Pilled. 2 minutes of playtime, 1 minute, and, well, this one has 23 minutes of playtime because I was making a video on it. But you can see here, let's just go with Focus Benji 5. Again, this character's been played for 1 minute, right? And we can see that this character has, they have 100,000 on them. but they also have 14 gold, and if we were to sell 14 gold right now, that's worth 119,000. So, and again, so that's about 200,000, and then the other characters have around 100k, and that would put, again, around 400,000. So not quite 500,000, but again, I know what I'm doing. You're going to want a little bit of wiggle room in case you make a mistake, so you don't have to refarm it up. But once you get this amount of money, you never have to worry about it ever again. You don't have to do this. You do the rough stone grind one time per character, per account, and then once you have that money built up, again, you never, ever, ever have to do it ever again. This is, again, going from zero, as in nothing. If you're already an established player and you have some money, you can just simply give it to your alt account. No, it's not against the game rules. No, it's not going to get you banned. Alright, so once you have that set up, step number 3 is you're going to play your main character normally. Just follow the best start guide. Go, do open world mobs, grind, gather, build up your silver as you normally would on your main character. Because, again, you're getting silver so that you can actually play the game and enjoy it on a main character, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to do this until you can afford a guild island. Then what you're going to do, and let me just kind of show you how a guild island works. You push G, and you would create your own guild, and creating your own guild costs 1,000,000 silver. And then when you create your own guild, you have to go to an island merchant in the main town, and you would have to then buy a guild island. And you don't have to upgrade it much at first. You're simply using the guild island, which I'm on a guild island right now. You just use a guild island as a way to trade materials between characters. You can see here, this chest is full of like random wood and stone. If I got access rights, well, I have deleted characters, but all of these characters have access to this chest, so I can log into any of these characters at all. There's Focus Benji 5, by the way, and this character can grab loot out of this chest and do what they want with it. But another thing, too, is that you can also put a crafting bench on an island, and let me try to find an example. So, for example, this guild island, well, it has some crafting benches on it. And, again, it doesn't matter what the crafting bench is. This is just an alchemy tool maker, some mills. And for a random station, you can access it, and then you can go to administration, and you can put money in and take money out. So, again, if I needed to give my other characters money or take other characters' money and give it to my main character, I can just go here, deposit like 4,000,000 silver. There we go. And then if this thing has, which it doesn't, but if it had access rights to other characters, I don't use this bench to transfer money. And this, again, it's not against the rules. It's not going to get you banned or flagged for real money trade or RMT or anything. And again, you can put money in, you can take money out. It's really that simple. That's how you trade and store money between characters. And if you need more info on how to do this, this is a video that will teach you fully in depth how to do it. Alright, in case you're confused, it's called Albion Online, the best method to transfer silver. Alright, and again, this video, this is what it looks like, this is what the thumbnail looks like. 32,000 views. It's 4 years ago, nothing's changed, nothing's been patched or altered within that 4-year period. This game doesn't go through a lot of changes, okay? So, yeah, just watch this video if you're still confused. Now, I will say, at first, these methods I'm showing you, they will make more silver per hour than gathering, than ganking a red or black zone or whatever. But once you have a large pool of silver, you will be able to make a larger pool of silver and so on and so forth. And just to show you how fast you can make silver, I actually made a series called Month to Master, which only lasted 5 days because originally it was open to the public for everyone to view, but the info was way too valuable to keep public, and it wasn't getting a lot of views because people weren't searching for Month to Master. That's not a thing people like. I try to make my videos more searchable, but Albion's a dying game, and it wasn't getting views, so I figured it might as well, we might as well just lock up the info. But just to show you how much money you can make with this method, let me just demonstrate right now. So here we have, again, Month to Master, the Foundation, Episode 0, and let me just find it real quick. And so starting, we have 1 silver to start with, of course, right? Now, in the video, I do end up, let's see what I end up with just at the end of the video here. Let's see, 181k, which, again, it's all invested in the market. Flipping is very heavily incentivized, but I want you to notice right here, we have 30 days of premium on the Swole Benji character, okay? And then here we are on episode 4, which is technically the 5th episode because it started at 0. You can see 26 days of premium with 182 million silver. And again, that's 182 million silver. Also, we go from, because we bought premium with gold, we also built our gold up to 1,500. And at the time of filming, I think gold price was 8,200. So, that's an additional 12 million silver on top of that. Basically, 200 million silver on your 5th day. Not too bad. Now, as far as channel members' videos go, a lot of the channel member videos are simply me doing hours or even days or even weeks of research and then putting it into a video form so that you don't have to do the math yourself, you don't have to do the work and research yourself. For instance, let's pick a random video here, like how to maximize island profits. So what this does is I take all of my research data, I took every single possible thing that an island can produce, including guild islands and personal islands, and then I just ran all of the numbers for every possible thing that you could make money off of with an island. And then I just show in the video, okay, so this is the winner, this makes the most money, and then this makes the next most money, and so on and so forth. That's all like a video like that is. Something like silver making tips for late October, November. This is based around patches or changes to the game or market predictions like, oh, if an item is about to get mega buffed, well, then you can invest now, and then when the patch hits, everyone's buying that new item or whatever, right? Something like this, best fishing spots and gathering power level spots. This is me looking at every single freaking map in the whole game, every single zone, and determining, based on the layout and the geography, which is the best, absolute best places in the game to fish, based on, character movements, how often people die in the zone, and yada, yada, yada. Literally days worth of research, and the reason why I make these kinds of videos is because I want to remember this info for myself, okay? And yeah, that's what most of the channel member videos are. Which brings us to step number 4, use your alts to print money. How do you use alts to print your money? Now this one, again, this is a channel member thing right down here, Albion Online, how alts can make you rich. Let me give you a little bit of a sample. And in this video, it's a full and complete guide on how to make the alts, what to do with the alt characters, how to set them all up on your islands, and how to generate massive amounts of silver with your alt characters, alright? And you can see here, hey, look, there's Focus Benji 5. Remember that I showed you that character earlier. And, this is like create the Focus alt. Yes, that's a little hint for you. Focus alt, alright? If it wasn't clear enough with the character name being Focus Benji 5, okay? And channel members, I'm not giving away the secret sauce, don't worry. Alright, so after that, you can then use the silver that you made from your alts. You can always use your alts to just print more and more and more silver, by the way, to start item flipping, alright? You can also just gather on your main character if you don't feel like doing the alt stuff for hours and hours at a time, and then use the silver earned from gathering to start flipping, though it is much slower, because as a new player, when gathering, you're making 200 to 500k an hour, and until you get that tier 8 gathering, those tier 8 gathering tools and so on, you won't be pushing 1 million silver per hour, and without premium, it's still kind of sometimes hard to hit that 1 million silver per hour. And without laborers and islands, you're not really going to hit 1 million silver per hour anyway. I have so many gathering videos on the channel, I'm not going to bother showing them. But by using alts to make you silver instead, you're making several 100,000 silver in literal minutes, instead of having to spend a whole hour. So it's just way more time efficient to use alts to make silver than it is to gather anymore. That's just how the game is. And you may be wondering, well, how do you flip? How do you flip items? What do you flip? What is flipping? But besides, members-only videos that teach you all the ways to make silver and whatnot, you can see here 137 videos. Some of these aren't guides. Sometimes they're just personal things, like here's me ranting. Again, only support the channel if you want to. Only 2,184 views across members-only videos, and this doesn't count the views when videos that used to be public, like this video that used to be public had like 6,000 views before becoming members-only, so that's not being counted. But again, A lot of money-making secrets are right here. And if you're in a country that doesn't have a join button right down below the video, then there is no other way for me to get this video to you. I'm not putting them on Patreon or anything like that. I don't do Patreon because I want to keep everything kind of centralized on YouTube, which could bite me in the ass later, but who cares? Now, step 6 is a pretty obvious one. You would use your silver from your alts and your flipping to craft to make even more silver, because when you're crafting, you're basically just printing free money. Now, crafting, unfortunately, in this game does require a mountain of math to do. It also requires an investment. For instance, most of the time, yeah, you can maybe craft some things for profit. You can maybe refine some things for profit sometimes. But in order to make real profits, you're going to need premium, you're going to need focus, and with focus, you're going to need very high levels of crafting. This Swole Benji character, which is an alt character, by the way, has max level potion crafting and recently max level chef crafting. Also, I dabbled into learning how to grow a bunch of different plants because there was an opportunity there. There usually isn't, but there was for the month of December, so I went ahead and did it. And, yeah, so whenever the market swings properly for me, I can take this max level chef character now, and which I have another chef character too. And I can start processing all of these food items that I have. And you can see right now the estimated market value of these food items and mules. I can take the mules out if you're curious. But the food value is 145 million, alright? And with using focus and crafting on specific opportunity days, when the market and the math lines up, I could easily turn this into 300 million or more. Usually, I craft around a 50% markup. So, again, it could be, 159 plus 50%, or, no, 145 plus 50%, that'd be, end up with 217.5 million silver. But then I wouldn't sell when the markets are at a normal price. I would also sell the product, the produced items, whenever there's a shortage, and I know when the shortages are gonna happen based on market trends. And that would be another 50%, making it 290 million silver from 145. So, again, it's all about compounding and knowing the game and stuff like that. And if you want to know the fastest, easiest way to do math in the game, well, I have another members. I know I've been pushing the members-only videos a lot, but they're members-only for a reason. The fastest way to calculate the best... no, that's not it. Sorry. The most broken way to math profits in Albion Online. It's broken because it's really fast, okay? It's also something that I would personally consider... The game and the developers do not consider it cheating. But I feel like if you did this in any other MMORPG, the math becomes so easy it's basically cheating. But it's not cheating. According to the devs, you are allowed to do that method. It is completely legitimate. And I'll tell you right now, out of the entire history of the game, the method is only done within the last 7 years only by 8,800 people. And most of them don't even know what they're doing. So that video will, again, it's less than an hour. You watch it once, you follow the instructions, you're set for life. And it'll even set you up to learn how to, do things in other MMORPGs, not just Albion Online. But there you go. Once you know how to do the math is power. I'm sure your math teacher probably told you that, or maybe the TV told you that. But it's true. Once you learn how to do the math, you leave everyone else in this game in the freaking dust. But that's why I saved the crafting for step 6. And again, if you go ask Reddit, how do you make money? And they're like, crafting, yeah. And they'll never tell you how. They'll never tell you what they craft. Because, again, if everyone crafted the same thing, the markets plummet and die. That's just how the game is. But if you have the ability to do the math, to be able to figure out what to craft, then you will always know what to craft based on the markets. And you will always be able to profit. And, yeah, like some days, like, I'll show you right now. Like, for instance, let me hide the text here. For instance, right now, there is a 20% bonus on Curse Staff and Cloth Shoes. I did the math earlier. I could potentially make money on Curse Staffs, but if, due to low market demand and because the player base is kind of, like, Albion's a dying game right now. It's in the worst shape it's ever been in the whole history. Not a lot of people buying Curse Staffs, but there could be a whale at some point that buys a whole bunch of Curse Staffs and uses it to study so that they can level up their crafting ability or whatever. And so you kind of have to rely on whales sometimes. So in this case, after doing the math, that's the wrong window. After doing the math, for me, it's not worth it to craft cursed staffs today, but it could be worth it in 30 to 45 days if those staffs set on the market and then someone buys them all up. That's a big if. But if you were to say like be a PvPer, and look, I have 100 in the whole cursed staff tree. So well, except for the rock collar because it sucks. But if I wanted to, I could craft a bunch of cursed staves, and then I would be crafting them cheaper than I could ever buy them myself. I'm going to tell you that right now. So it's not all about just making silver. It's also about, well, if I went out constantly and did full loot PvP using a cursed staff, which is a really good weapon to use for full loot PvP, especially when you're ratting in the mist. It's very good. Also, you could go watch Goldstein. You can see he just makes cursed staff. He just melts players and profits massively. So if that was like your dream or that's something you wanted to do, well then hell yeah, you would do the math. Again, wrong window. You would do the math, and you would have a whole bunch of cursed staffs on standby for your PvP builds, and that in turn is technically saving you silver, which is in turn making you silver, alright? So again, it all compounds. But let's say you don't want to flip items. You don't want to craft items. You just want to make silver. Well, I already set you up because that best start guide you'll have a character where you'll never go broke. You'll always have a fame farming set and a gathering set to earn you money. And then it's all about just turning your time into silver. If you want silver, you go out, you gather, you'll make silver. And because you're not blowing it and wasting it on chasing, what all the peer pressure dorks on Reddit are telling you to do. Go to Black Zone, donate your set, blah, right? Like, there's really no reason in this game, in the current state of Albion Online, there is no reason to ever chase 8.4 gear, ever. Now, I'm going to show you a couple chests, and they're full of 8.4 gear. This is because the game had no item power soft cap in place in save zones. So you would bring out these super overpowered weapons to fight other players or to dumpster anyone who didn't have super overpowered weapons, okay, in the save zones. But because there is an item power soft cap, if I take this super powered axe out at 2092 item power, and I'll go ahead and just show you right now in case you haven't played the game in a while and you're curious. Well, when you go to any save zone, you get item power soft capped, and I'm not sure if it reflects in town or not, so I'll just step outside. But yeah, right now we're still at 2092 item power, and again, we're just going to walk outside into a yellow zone, and you'll see that the item power gets massively nerfed down to 1,378, okay? So yeah, it's, you lose so much power, and so there's no real reason to use any gear over 4.2 or 4.3. I would stop at 4.3. That's about, you can afford that on your first day if you just gather a bunch. Again, you can afford an entire full set of save zone gear on your very first day of playing without any of the other tricks I talked about in the video, by just gathering and killing mobs in a safe zone. You'll have a full 4.3 set, and then that's all you need to fame your character up, right? That's all you need, okay? And then once you've famed your character up, and again, before you can even think about doing full loot PvP on an equal playing field with other players, you're going to need your entire weapon line needs to be level 100, except for the crystal weapon, because it doesn't scale. And then you need your armor, your helmet, your chest, and your boots, also level 100 across the board. Once you get that, then you won't be at an item power disadvantage in full loot PvP. And having an item power disadvantage of 1 to 200, which you will have if you don't have the specialization, pretty much means it's nearly impossible to win unless you have a counter set, they're a new player, or they accidentally misstep and misplay 3 to 4 times during the fight, okay? So, again, it's just a complete waste of your silver and money to try to do PvP in this game without having done the leveling first. And having silver makes the leveling process way, way faster. And I did the math in a different video, but essentially having lots of silver to use a satchel, auto-respec, premium, mob fame on your weapon, all that stuff, converts to leveling up 17 times faster than someone who has auto-respec off, who doesn't have a satchel, who doesn't have premium, who doesn't have a mob fame farm weapon, who is, and besides the 17 times amount, You're also farming 4 times slower if you listen to Reddit's advice and go to the Black Zone. The Black Zone does not make more fame than the Trio Depths solo, okay? So you take that 17 times multiplier, and then you would multiply that by 4. And so if you followed Reddit's advice, you're essentially fame farming 68 times slower by, not doing your own research or listening to based YouTubers such as myself. That's just the truth of the matter. Yes, I am being real. 68 times slower. Have fun with that. And then, of course, using your silver, because your silver is going to pile up so damn fast. And if you just have your silver sitting on your character doing nothing, it's not making you any money. So you would then invest into more islands to earn even more silver. And yeah, I'm choking. And then after that, if you don't want to do the alt method anymore, you have so much silver, you can actually just start making crafting focus, like real crafting alts. Like I have a character, I'll go and show you right now. I have a character named Chef Swole Benji. All he does is cook. All right, here we are on Chef Swole Benji. And you can see here, he doesn't really do combat. He's got, level 57 in Spike Gauntlet. I don't know. I don't remember why I did that. I guess I just leveled him up a bit because he had premium. Yeah, that's right. I used the Spike Gauntlet so that I could do the daily challenges and get the mount rewards. That's why I had Spike Gauntlet leveled to 57. Anyway, and that was back when he could one-shot. But anyway, you can see that Chef Swole Benji here, max level chef character. That's all he does. He just cooks food. And again, I don't have premium active. Also, he has a whole lot of unclaimed journal rewards. I think I claimed all the money ones. But yeah, you can see... let's see. He is, he's a crafter, right? So he should have some of the crafting things already unlocked, but I guess not, whatever. I don't care. But the point is that you can have multiple crafting alt characters that just print you more money. This Chef Swole Benji character, when he has premium active, I would spend 15 minutes a day on him. He will earn after the cost of premium, he will earn me over 100 million silver for 30 days. So 30 days times 15 minutes is 7.5 hours. And 100 million silver divided by 7.5 hours is 13.3 million silver per hour, okay? So again, just when you have multiple characters, they can craft multiple things. Your silver per hour just goes up and up and up and up. And then you don't have to do the little baby things anymore. You don't have to flip if you don't want to. You don't have to craft if you don't want to. You don't have to make a bunch of focus alt characters anymore if you don't want to, right? You don't have to use your islands and laborers and farm stuffs if you don't want to. It's whatever you prefer to do. But once you have that money built up, you can then choose, whatever is soul-sucking and time-sucking to make the most silver possible. Like, believe you me, if I took this chef character and I played for 8 hours a day doing transporting and doing all of the math, the hard math, I'd be spending about 8 hours a day, but he would make about 300 million silver a month, okay? But I spend 15 minutes, he makes 100 million silver, that's more than enough for me, I don't care, right? And so, yeah, it's however much that you want to scale it, but in order to scale it, you have to get started smartly and, most importantly, safely. You can't go pissing away all your money in the Black Zone because Reddit told you to, or some dickhead Twitch streamer influenced you to do so because he is actually a corporate shill that signed an NDA, and he is contractually obligated to tell you to go to the Black Zone over the safe zones because SBI wants you dead, broke, penniless, so that you're card swiping their cash shop and buying back into the game. That is the entire agenda that they want for you. Alright, and I'm the only last remaining beacon of hope and light that this game has ever freaking had in the past 7 years that is telling you otherwise. But yeah, legends, that's all I've got for you in this video. I know that it's just telling you to get to work and do this, do that. But hey, I've made over 1,000 videos on this game showing and proving that these methods work. And yeah, I know I hate to, paywall behind the members only vids. I hate to do that. But hey, would you rather have, hey guys, download Raid Shadow Legends. Hey guys, download NordVPN. I don't think so. I hate that shit. I always skip those types of videos. I don't even watch creators that do sponsored ad reads. I just cannot stand it. But with that said, guys, I really do appreciate you guys watching. Unfortunately, there is not really an audience for this game anymore. This game is down bad. This game is, it is really, like, I've been looking at all the numbers from the past 2 years. The game peaked in 2023. All right, it, like, seriously peaked in 2023, okay? It is, for me to play this game and make videos as much as I used to, like, let me just tell you, like, I can't live off the earnings that this game generates, okay? The members-only vids do generate enough for me to actually be able to buy a little bit of better food each month, but other than that, it still doesn't really pay the bills. But also, the game is stale. There's nothing going on in this game. There's no updates. There's nothing new being added. They spent a whole year and added nothing to the game. They just copy-pasted things from other parts of the game. Like, the depths was copy-pasted from the Nightfall Abbey. That's all that was. The faction warfare stuff, copy-pasted from the Black Zone, castle siege defense crap. That's all it is. It's just nerf after nerf after nerf. They nerfed everything that solo players like to do. They nerfed everything that, could make you money because they want to incentivize people to card swipe. And that's just how it is. The company is owned by Stillfront. Stillfront stocks are in the absolute dumpster, and they're never going to recover because they don't understand that in order for their game to appeal to a wider audience, they can't be muting and treating their top freaking American English-speaking content creator, which is me, as bad as they freaking do, and that's why their game's dying. Because if they treat me this bad, they treat all their business partners infinitely as bad. They treat all of their associates and co-workers and employees 100 million times worse, okay? It's really, really bad. There's a reason why games die, and it's usually corporate greed from the top down. It's also just mistreatment of their employees. It's hiring the wrong people, doing the wrong job. It's getting complacent, getting lazy, and this game is ultimately dying. And I've been trying to tell my audience for the longest time, if you made it this far in the video, there is a sandbox MMORPG. It's still an alpha, but it's called Ashes of Creation. You should go play that game. It's Albion Online, but in 3D. No, you can't play it on a phone. I'm sorry, phone gamers. I'm not a phone gamer. I can't afford a phone, okay? I'm a PC gamer. I make videos for me. I make videos for PC gamers, all right? And so if you are a PC gamer, again, go watch my Ashes of Creation videos. That is the future for sandbox MMORPGs. It isn't this game. This game is on its way freaking out, okay? It is on its way out, and I'm sorry that that's the case, but, I have to survive, and I'm still going to make Albion videos when there's stuff to make. I'm still going to be making channel member-only videos, so again, stay subscribed to that. Stay remaining a channel member, but other than that, I hope you guys have a cool 2026. I want to start making, like, real-life videos because, I don't know, I could breathe more soul into the videos. I'm not gonna, like, webcam or anything. I used to do that on one of my older channels, but, just goofy in real-life skits and stuff is things that I would like to do, some green screen stuff. We'll see, but, I've been sick lately, my health isn't so good, and, I'm broke as hell, so, we'll see what happens, and, I just need other videos on other games to pop off, if gaming doesn't die entirely from the rising prices of memory and, GPUs due to the AI slop that's taking over the freaking world. But, hey, we'll see what happens. Maybe a meteor will crash into us anytime now. We don't have to worry about it anymore. But with that said, leave a like, leave a comment. I read every comment. I'm going to read the most recent comment right now. That's a new thing I'm doing in my videos. And the most recent comment comes from AZTexian5, who says, "Thank you for what you do, Benji." Mwah. Thank you. Also, click the video on the right side of your screen. If you do click it, you're going to have some funny, awkward interactions with random strangers when you're out in public. Nothing harmful, just completely harmless, funny, just nonsense. For me, I was playing a piano arcade game, and I had this guy. I don't know if he was a little slow in the head or if he was, like, autistic, but he just, like, stared. He just stared at me as I played. And I was like, "Hey, man, you want to play?" And then he looks at the keyboard, and he looks at the game, and he says, "I don't know what this even is." And then he just, like, waddled away. And it was, I'm not trying to make fun of people here, okay? I'm just saying it was a really funny interaction to me. It's like, he doesn't know what a piano is? Who doesn't know what a piano is? But anyway, you're gonna have a funny, awkward, memorable conversation with someone out in public next time. Unless you if you don't click the video, then it'll be like a bad one. But if you do click the video, it'll be a good one. Okay, there you go. That's your curse for the day. Mwah. See you later.